Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyperroll with Artark. We are just 2 days away from the release of Set 9, and there's some stuff we have to go over. First, graphic, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get through that, and let me explain. So, they have, ever since the invention of Hyperroll, put Hyperroll in the PBE. So I get to record some Hyperroll matches, get an idea of how Hyperroll is going to be, etc., etc., etc. Not this time. There was no Hyperroll during the PBE except for the 1v0, which doesn't really give you that much information about what's going to work against what. So I'm going to do what all people do in a situation like that. Completely guess. So Wednesday, there will be a Get Hyper for Set 9 video, but it'll be based on my best guess of how the comps are going to work. So this game was a spatula game, starting off with a spatula, giving us lots of different possibilities of what we could go for as far as a reach trade is concerned. It also gave us a 2-star Lux, just to start off with without even asking for it. For the augments, nothing really juicy here, so we can go ahead and re-roll them. In Set 9, you can re-roll each one individually. Thrill of the hunt, we're going to take it, we're going to miss it. There's something similar in Set 9, but not exactly like it. We'll go over that on Wednesday. This game was throwing tons of mixed messages, starting me off with the 2-star Lux, then not much in that same vein. It started giving me Renekton's, it gave me a couple of Yasuos, and gave me some Ashes, so I'm thinking, yeah, might be going for Laser this time. And LaserCorp has been one of those builds that has been in a really funky spot in the meta almost the entire season. If you get it to yourself, you're probably going to win. If a bunch of people go for it, which they often do, you end up wiping one another out and giving room to one of the many other comps we've gone over. For Stage 4, it was time to test and see what is the A.D.M.I.N. And we've got my two favorites. The every 5 seconds your team gains 12 permanent maximum health, or combat start, your team gains 40 maximum health, which is what I end up taking. I know I'm going to take it. But since I'm already starting late and I have 3 2-star lasers, I'm going to go ahead and keep them in the match so I'm more likely to win than just go farming health at this point. But that's not necessarily the right call. The hope is that you're going to win. I didn't expect to run into a Pantheon Oxforce team that's already got 4 Oxforce, which is going to make it, well, nearly impossible for my little laser team to break through that much magic resist and additional shielding. So I should have just taken the extra health. So time to take our lesson and change some things up. We'll grab the Giant's Belt to make a Sunfire Cape on Renekton, bring in Blitzcrank, put Ashe on the bench for now, because what we want to do is put the most health on our frontliners as possible, and Camille will be in the front if we end up going Laser A.D.M.I.N, which it looks like that's what we're going to do. And we run into another 4 Oxforce team, which, by the way, Oxslingers is one of the strongest builds right now if you can get it. So if you're trying to climb in these last few days and you're having trouble with some of the other builds, give Oxslingers a try. We did a video on it the other day. You can check it out. It's a good one to kind of help you get past that final hump. For the second set of augments, we have hero augments, and they are not part of Set 9, not exactly. There are some augments that are hero specific, but we'll get into that a little bit more once we do our Set 9 video. Here, we want Winds of the Wanderer. That will be the best one for us in this scenario because it will allow Yasuo's ult to impact more people. And I will hyperspeed this fight because it amazes me how many people went tank builds in this spatula set. Here we have an Aegis team and Brawler, so they are going to take a long time to get through. So are we, since we are gaining additional health, and ultimately their Renekton finishes us off. And since we still have an unused spatula, I decide to double down, go for full A.D.M.I.N, and then grab an additional 40 permanent health. So we're going to be getting about 100 health each round as we go forward. And because we are fairly uncontested when it comes to LaserCorp, we're able to get a gold 3-star Ashe. We are working on our second 2-star Yasuo, and working towards a gold 3-star blitz. So the team is looking like it could be fairly strong. Now you'll also see why I love Thrill of the Hunt so much. Burst healing keeps us in it and allows us to win that round. And as I mentioned before, it's not that Thrill of the Hunt is gone, it's gone under that name. They have a new augment called Healing Orbs, which allows the champion closest to one that is defeated to get 300 to 500 in burst healing when that champion goes down. It is time for the final augment, and nothing great here. I'll just go ahead and grab Battle Mage. It'll give me a little bit of armor and ability power in the front line, and since this is a fairly strong frontline comp, especially after we get Warwick involved, that will certainly help us out. We can bring Garen in for now as an additional frontliner since we have that. Then as far as items go, would have loved to have gotten another spatula so I could make an additional admin emblem, but no such luck. Best move here, I'm going to go ahead and take the Tear of the Goddess, put it on Ashe so that she is shredding magic resist. Remember, the laser cores do magic damage, so having a little bit lower magic resist on the opposing team is never a bad idea. And again, because we were not contested, we were able to end up with a gold 3-star blitz. We're working on the gold 3-star Yasuo, but Renekton is really the star of this show, as he is just able to stand in and take so much damage, ultimately marching into their backline and finishing them off. We got a Nunu with a mascot emblem off of the carousel, so we brought him in for the moment, but once you get Warwick, you want to tick that additional laser box so Nunu can come out. Garen is in for now since we got him up to 2 stars, grabbing a Rage Blade for Warwick. Fantastic item for him. He can come in. That gives us the additional laser, but Garen at 2 stars, we don't want to necessarily take him out immediately. And this is really the only person competing with us for any parts of our build, as they are going full Brawler Aegis with a little bit of admin thrown in too. But they're just not strong or diverse enough to take on what we have in this build, so they end up going down to us. And this is one of the Oxforce teams that has moved into a little bit of Spellslinger as well. I believe they have all the Oxforce and then 4 Spellslingers, which is going to make them very tanky and very strong. But they have run into a double Dragon Claw Renekton, who is not going to be that susceptible to magic damage, which allows our backline to finish them off and bring us into the top 4. It is now time to itemize Nunu, since he is now part of the team. Rabadon's Death Cap is great for him. We instantly 2-star him, so we're hoping for more AP items out of this. Jeweled Gauntlet will go fantastic on him. So we're really set in terms of the power in this team. We also brought in Riven as an additional defender for Garen, so the whole team is getting more armor. Remember, we have Battle Mage, so the front line is also getting additional armor. So this is a fairly meaty and tanky team. First up is an Infiniteam with a double Mordekaiser up front, which could be very, very damaging, but again, Double Dragon's Claw Renekton is not going to care about some Mordekaiser damage. It's going to be the backline that's potentially troubling, but we're able to get through them and then focus on Sivir and knock this person out. And this is now down to a 1v1 against one of the Oxforce teams, and their team is insanely tanky and strong, with a 3-star Vex and a Syndra in the backline. They are able to do a ton of damage, but remember, our team is super beefy. We've been gaining health throughout most of this match and 100 health per fight in the last several rounds. So this is just one of those very, very long fights that is a rite of attrition, whichever one can hold out, with our Ashe and LeBlanc in the backline just pouring out damage. We are able to win that first fight.
In round 2, they have additional problems to deal with because I've repositioned Nunu so that he is going to get out of trouble and then start gaining some power. They would have to deal with Ashe, LeBlanc, and Nunu. You can see Nunu is just rolling around, not a care in the world, and every time he gets a kill, it heals him back up. So he is able to just crush that team and ultimately crush the damage charts, and it's GG to everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. Finale coming tomorrow for Season 8.5, and as always, have an absolutely awesome day.